Well, I'm glad you could join us. Barbro Osher is with us right now, and not Barbara, Barbro Osher is with us. She is the Swedish Consul General in San Francisco, and nice to have you with us, Barbro.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations on that. I think
Thank
that's
you.
terrific. And as I said to Barbro when we started, yumpen yiminy, but my grandmother never said that.
I bet she didn't, because that's not very Swedish.
Anyway, so there's an exhibit coming up, a Swedish design and so forth?
Yes, but I should say that it is a Swedish exhibition at San Francisco Airport in the international terminal.
Yeah.
And which is great because you can actually visit this exhibit without a ticket.
Right.
So
that's
good.
There,
it's
they have
before
had,
security.
Yeah, they have had other exhibits there, I know.
Absolutely.
Quite nice, as a matter of fact.
Some years ago we had a big silver exhibition there, and I love to work with the airport because they do fantastic things.
Now, what kinds of things are we going to see there?
You are going to see the design by Josef Frank, who was actually not a Swede from the beginning. He left Vienna in the early 30s for obvious reasons. He was Jewish, and he was summoned by a company in Sweden called Svenskt Tenn, which means Swedish pewter. And it was run by a woman who had a great knack for design, furniture, textiles. And she invited Josef Frank, and he was married to a Swede, so he came to Sweden and started designing furniture and textiles for Svenskt Tenn. And they have since evolved into being, let's say, the classic Swedish design, but, you know, with an international knack to it, because he was an architect in Vienna.
When you talk about a classic Swedish design, you know, my grandparents' house, we just had regular furniture, but and I think of clean, aerodynamic kinds of contemporary things.
Then you'll be surprised when you see this exhibition.
I will. I'm always surprised by everything, Barbara. Anyway, yeah.
Good. Keep it up.
Yeah. Why will I be surprised?
Because it is not what you expect from a Scandinavian design. I mean, it has very fantastic colors, and his textile designs were totally un-Swedish. He sort of brought in an element of joy and colors into, let's say, the very sometimes bleak Swedish way of looking at design.
Bleak.
Well,
that's one way of looking at it as Consul General. I guess
let's
you
say
can.
Spartan.
But
I mean, he really put in heart, soul, and blood into his his furniture, and he did lamps. He did chests of drawers and chairs and tables and sofas, lovely sofas that you can throw yourself in. Not something you sit on, it sits in.
Yeah, it sounds like a really great exhibit. There was something else you wanted to mention, though.
Well, I also wanted to mention something which is really tied to San Francisco, and that's the Kronos Quartet, based in San Francisco, a fantastic quartet, music quartet, obviously. And they are receiving a great prize, the Polar Prize, in Sweden in late August. It's also tied to some monies. This was started by the man who founded ABBA. And you know ABBA.
Oh, yeah. ABBA was very successful.
And the whole thing.
That's very good. You've got the words down.
So that is going to be handed to the 4 members of the Kronos Quartet on the 30th of August in Stockholm by His Majesty.
Well, they have appeared here, I know, a number of times.
Absolutely. They are fantastic.
And symphonies and so forth.
So Sweden will come at you from 2 sides.
Okay. Well, in the meantime, just remind everybody at the San Francisco International Airport, the Swedish design. Walk in. You don't have to fly anywhere. You can just walk in.
And you don't have to pay.
Yeah, okay.
That's
you don't
the
have
best
to pay.
of all.
It's just there.
It's
I know.
there.
Barbro, nice meeting you.
Thank you very much.
I wish I had learned something in Swedish when I was a kid. I don't. But there you go.
Just say tack.
Oh, thank you. That's good. Barbro Osher has been our guest, and she is the Swedish Consul General in San Francisco. Thank you very much for joining us.